can be controlled by the brain prosthetics and wheelchair for the paralyzed people. And this allow the blind people to see by transmitting the visual images to their mind. Let us allow the deaf people to hear by transmitting the auditory data to the transmit auditory data to the mind of a deaf person. It also permits the gamers to control the video games with their minds. It allows the mute person to have their thoughts to be displayed and spoken by the computer, and it can be more used in in the automobile industry. Crime investigation. We can also verify if one of the accused is genuine or not during his confessions. Applications of BCI. In that first one is healthcare. It is mainly for paralyzed, disabled people and also used for testing the correctiveness of neurosurgeons. Gaming. Gaming is the part which increases users' engagement and makes it easier to acquire new skill of controlling the BCI device. Security and authentication. It can be done only by using our mind and data to authenticate. Automobiles. It is useful for brain controlled vehicles. For example, we can take as car. Space and technology. We cannot do any repairs and other operations in the vacuum out in the space. If we have brain control devices, we can easily operate the space equipments without getting into the harmful area. Smart technologies. To improve living conditions of elderly and disabled people, we designed smart devices using BCI. Se-
The latest advancements that
Secure
have been
network
developed
using BCI.
The latest advancements that has been developed using BCI technologies include the Neuralink, which is a company that is responsible for merging the computers with human brain. It's still working on the uh, equipment that has thread-like structures that can be implanted in the brain to gather the raw data that brain signals will send. Neurable is another company where it has developed the first virtual reality game that is controlled by brain using the BCIs. Emotive is another company where it used a technology of BCI to control the blinking of lights with one's brain. Kernel also has developed natural neural chip implants uh, in the form for the hardware of the BCI. The BitBrain is another company which is responsible for developing the software tools and the hardware as well for developing the algorithms that can be used in BCI to interpret the brain waves into the external commands. The problem statement that we have been defining here is the threats and vulnerabilities that are possible in BCI with the examples and their disastrous effects in the form of impacts, and how the data privacy and security issues can affect the daily life of the users during the data transmission, and how it will be attacked during the transmission of data over a network. Implementing of risk management in BCI technology with the help of the security guidelines. Literature review which we have gone through and which we have sought to is include the Marcelo and Lenka and Pim Hasleger has provided their data, their research on hacking the brain computer interface technology and ethics of neurosecurity. Hassan Takabi and Anuj Balatia and Manar Alohle has presented their paper on brain-computer interface application, privacy and threats, countermeasures. which included the threats that are possible in BCI technology and the countermeasures that they have provided. Another one is the brain computer interface and transcranial simulation that has been provided by Folgeri, with the frontiers and reliability and safety and threats that are included in BCI. And finally, we have gone through the paper of emerging threats to security and privacy in brain computer interface that is presented in the International Journal of Advanced Studies in Scientific Research by Chowdhury P. Agarwal. Uh, the methodology that we are following for in our presentation is the taxonomy, the latest trends, and the impact analysis of the BCI technology. The taxonomy of BCI devices include the classification based on the invasiveness, electrodes, number of electrodes. Invasiveness depends on the how much deep it is. The BCI hardware is penetrated into the human body. Based on that, we have invasive, semi-invasive, non-invasive, and the electrodes are responsible for the for gathering the capturing the data that the brain impulses, brain waves will be given. So, depending on the type of electrodes we and the number of electrodes and the placement of electrodes, we classify the BCIs and the type of the output data as well, which will be raw, the brain waves and types of brain waves and the hybrid output data. Based on input, we have classified the BCIs again in further into modality, which further classified into EEG and multimodal. And the type of electrodes that we have here are wet, semi-dry, and dry. In the wet, we use gel to secure the connection to the electrodes and the brain. In the semi-dry, we came up with semi-dry because the gel will leave residue on the users. So we have come up with the saline solution in the semi-dry, and even the saline solution has not provided the had a drawback that the saline solution is frequently evaporating, drying off. So we came up with the dry electrodes. And for the input, we have another classification based on the control, for which we have active and passive control, where active control involves the user involvement to the highest, and where passive control does not need users' involvement completely, as the predictive algorithms will be able to learn the um, patterns and may not require the high engagement levels of the user. So the invasiveness depends on, as shown here, the scalp is the outermost layer. So when you put the BCI hardware over the scalp, it is considered as non-invasive, and if you just place it just below the scalp on the outermost surface of the brain, with the help of electrocardiography tool, it is considered as semi-invasive. And if you place the electrodes in the cortex of the brain, it is considered as the invasive BCI. This is a basic structure, a basic components. This is a figure showing basic components of the BCI, how the BCI works. So once the user is engaged with the BCI, whether it be invasive, non-invasive, or semi-invasive, the the signals that will be generated will be acquired by the help of signal acquisition, and the raw signals are generated here. The raw signals are digitalized into ones and zeros, and that is fed into signal processing unit, where the digitalized data is converted into the device commands using the algorithms, complex algorithms that we have mentioned in our previous slides, the Fourier transform, the Laplace in filtrations. So those the external commands are given to the external devices like computers, the prosthetics, wheelchair, or the environment control. So the output that is given to the output is given as an input to the external devices, and the feedback uh, and the output that is given by these external devices is sent back as a feedback to the user, so that he'll be able to manipulate the external devices further based on his thoughts. The electrodes placement can be shown like here. This is the top view of the head where the electrodes will be placed. The electrodes are placed in this way. So, as I mentioned in the taxonomy, the classification based on output include the raw data, brain waves, and hybrid data. The raw data includes only the biosignals. Here, the security of attack surface and the is less, as one needs an expertise to misuse this data. The brain waves. Brain waves Based on brain waves, we have different kinds of output because the brain waves are classified in the form classified based on their frequencies that we'll be seeing in the next slides. The security issues still persist here if the attacker is proficient in cracking algorithms. And the hybrid data, which involves visual, audio visual, moving images, immersive types of output. This has higher chance of unauthorized access in the form of copying or eavesdropping. So here we need to make sure to secure the data, since this is easily accessible and understand comprehensible. So the output brainwaves that are classified in based on the frequencies are given below, and each section will show the each type of wave will have different emotional status of the mind, as given here. For delta, we have sleep and severe slow of mental process. For theta, we have deep meditation, reduced consciousness. For alpha, it's an awakefulness. For slow beta, we have intense focus and cognitive enhancement. Medium beta, it is for anxiety. And finally, the fast beta is for hyper alertiveness and processing of various attended stimuli. These are some pictures depicting the waves, how the waves look based on their frequencies. Here we can see theta waves, sleep spindle, slow waves, stage 3, slow waves, sleep. These are delta waves. These waves are captured by using the device electroencephalogram (EEG), which is further based on BCI technology. The threats of BCI, which we have come across during our exploration on the topic, are the main reason is the BCI being premature and an emergent technology. There is a high chance of improper processing of data because there are no proper standards that has been set, since the usage is not as much as the regular technologies that we use. So there is a dire need for developing the standards for launching these technologies based on the brain control interfaces. And this adds up a vulnerability of data retrieval by malicious activities as well. Any mishandling of data can lead to serious abuse of individuals' confidential data like personal preferences, health, emotions, and financial details like the credit card PIN, account details. Also, the freedom of thought is one more concern that can be a threat to the whose violation can be a threat of the BCI, because once the attacker gains the access to the raw data that has been generated by the BCI, if it is interpreted properly with the use of algorithms, then the The thoughts of the individual victim can be interpreted easily, which is not supposed to, which violates the statement of freedom of thought. Future oriented risks are much more because um, once you gain once you gain access to the thoughts of an individual, there can be disastrous effects that can happen with the information they are holding. Also, one more concern that we have is the threat of altering cognitive processes. Once the user once the user's data of neural data is compromised, the data, if misused, and if the patterns are interpreted correctly, um, then the attacker might uh, alter the commands that are being sent to the external devices, and the cognitive process can be compromised here. And the tiny noise big mistakes means it is natural that the noise will be there when gathering the data. So the tiny noise may even interpret in a way that such that there is a high deviation in the external the commands that are fed to the external devices. Vulnerabilities of BCI. The data handlers, which are who are handling the data, the raw data that is being generated by BCI, has to be much careful and much honest while handling the data, and should not be disclosing the data or intentionally or unintentionally. The prediction algorithms is one other vulnerability of BCI. Nowadays, we are having different kinds of algorithms over internet we can find, and if the attacker is knowledgeable and well versed with the prediction algorithms, the raw data is becomes an asset to him, and which he can misuse the data easily. Selling of sensitive data by unscrupulous companies to the attackers like dark web can also affect the individual's privacy and can cause disastrous effects. Attackers interruption into the network. So the data is always being transferred over a network, and the attackers interruption into the network is highly possible if we don't use the firewalls, or if the proper standards are not followed. The secure network will be explained by Sahiti now.
Secure network. Here, by examining the figure, we can say that the main issue with the BCI app stores is that current APIs available to the third party developers offer full access to the raw brainwave signals, and the users of the application have no control on their brainwaves. The secure network and the insecure network where BCIs are used are depicted in figures. Insecure network using BCI. The secure network will use the EEG headset worn by the user, and the brainwaves are captured in the form of EEG data. With the help of a Bluetooth device to this data, which is sent to a near control device to process the EEG data, and the further complex algorithms like Fourier transforms, autoregressive, Laplace filters to convert them into digital signals, and further converted to the control messages to the control the external devices. The vulnerabilities can be identified at every stage of the network, which makes the secure network an insecure network with added vulnerabilities. At the first stage, where the user wears the EEG headset, there is possibility of injecting the firmware to cause a firmware attack which can corrupt the EEG data. In the second stage, The possibility of communication interruption may result in disclosure of raw data to an attacker. In the near control device, we can process the raw EEG data to a meaningful commands, which can be captured by an attacker if he has gained the unauthorized access to this near control device. While transferring the commands generated from the raw EEG data, we can have a vulnerability of sniffing attack and which is manipulated and can cause unwanted output in the commands sent to the external devices. Hence, in order to make an network using a BSI secure network, all the vulnerabilities that are mentioned in the insecure network must be addressed.